Hey, beautiful souls, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Lisa, and this is where I dive deep into the raw, messy, and oh so real world of cheating stories that'll leave you speechless. Before we jump into today's heart-wrenching tale, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you don't miss a single confession. Trust me, this one's a roller coaster you won't want to miss. I'm about to share my story, a confession about a family secret that started with a tragedy, led to a forbidden connection, and ended with a decision that changed everything. Grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's unravel the drama that turned my world upside down. This isn't your typical cheating story. It's a tangled web of love, loss, betrayal, and redemption that pushed every boundary I thought I had. I'm Lisa Thompson, a 42-year-old widow and mother with a knack for keeping my family together, even when life throws curveballs. My daughter, Emily, is a 24-year-old firecracker, smart, ambitious, and fiercely independent, just like her mom. Her husband, Jake, is a 33-year-old construction manager, rugged, charming, and the kind of guy who can fix anything, from a leaky faucet to a broken heart. We're a tight-knit family in a cozy Denver suburb, but what happened between me and Jake behind closed doors is a secret I've carried for years. I'm ready to confess, even if it means facing your judgment in the comments. Let's dive in. My story starts with loss. I married my high school sweetheart, Michael, when I was just 19. We had Emily a year later, and life was perfect, simple, but perfect. We weren't rich, but we had love, laughter, and a tiny apartment filled with dreams. Emily's 16th birthday was a big deal, family, cake, and so many relatives we ran out of chairs. The next day, Michael went to the store for milk and never came back. A heart attack stole him from us at 35. Just like that, my world crumbled. Being a single mom wasn't easy, but Emily and I pulled through. She was my rock, and I was hers. 5 years later, at 21, Emily brought home Jake, her fiancé. He was 30, tall, with a scruffy beard and a smile that could melt ice. He was stable, kind, and crazy about Emily. As her mom, I was thrilled. She'd found a man who could give her the life I'd always wanted for her. But I'd be lying if I said Jake's presence didn't stir something in me. At 38, I was still young, and he was only 8 years younger. I noticed the way his flannel shirts hugged his shoulders, the way his laugh filled the room. I pushed those thoughts away, ashamed. He was my daughter's future husband, not some guy I could daydream about. Jake and I hit it off right away, not in that way, at least not at first. We bonded over coffee, joking about Emily's obsession with reality TV or swapping stories about home repairs. Sometimes, our eyes would meet, and I'd catch a spark in his gaze, something warm, maybe curious. I told myself it was just friendliness, nothing more. Emily and Jake's love grew, and so did our family's bond. I was happy for them, truly. But deep down, I felt a restlessness I couldn't explain. Emily and Jake's wedding was beautiful, a backyard affair with fairy lights and dancing until midnight. They moved into my 2-bedroom apartment to save money, and we became a trio, cooking dinners, watching movies, navigating life together. Their honeymoon phase was loud. At night, behind the thin walls, I heard everything, every whisper, every sigh, every rhythmic creak of their bed. It was impossible to ignore. The sound stirred something in me, a heat I hadn't felt since Michael. My lower belly would tighten, my panties growing damp as I lay in the dark, my mind racing with forbidden fantasies about Jake. I'd touch myself, imagining his hands, his voice, his scent, and I'd drift into a haze of pleasure that left me breathless. The guilt was crushing. These moments brought me more satisfaction than I'd ever felt with Michael, and that truth haunted me. Mornings were awkward. Jake and Emily knew I could hear them, and I saw it in their shy glances over breakfast. I played it cool, smiling and chatting like nothing was wrong. They were happy, and that's what mattered. I buried my feelings, convincing myself it was just a phase. 2 years passed. Emily and Jake decided against kids for now, wanting to live for themselves. I supported them, but I noticed Jake changing. Emily confided in me one night, her voice trembling. "Mom, I think Jake's looking elsewhere," she said. "He's been eyeing other women, younger, prettier." "What do I do?" I tried to stay calm. "Maybe he's just restless," I said. "You're enough, Em. Talk to him." But inside, I was panicking. Was Jake straying? Emily pressed me, her eyes searching mine. "Mom, I give him everything. What else can I do?" She hesitated, then smirked, her voice low. "Maybe he wants more options." The implication hit me like a freight train. My face flushed, a sudden heat pooling in my lower belly, my panties dampening as my mind spun with images of Jake wanting me. I brushed it off, but the thought lingered. Then, Emily dropped a bombshell. "I'm being sent on a 6-month work training program," she said. "What if Jake leaves me?" "He's not a monk, Mom." My heart raced. I reassured her, my voice steady despite the storm inside. "Don't worry, Em. I'll keep an eye on him. He's not going anywhere." She hugged me, relieved, but I felt like a traitor. The idea of being alone with Jake for 6 months was both thrilling and terrifying. Emily left, and it was just me and Jake. At first, things were normal. He'd come home from work, we'd share dinner, chat about our day, and retreat to our rooms. He seemed like the perfect husband, loyal, attentive, never crossing a line. On Sundays, he'd head to a sauna with his buddies, a cooler of beer in tow, but he always came back. I started to relax, thinking maybe Emily's fears were unfounded. 2 weeks in, I heard something at night, rhythmic sounds from Jake's room. My heart sank. He was alone, and I knew what he was doing. The sounds mirrored my own restless nights, when I'd lie in bed, my fingers tracing my skin, my panties soaking as I imagined him. We were both fighting the same battle, separated by a wall. I knew this couldn't last. If Jake didn't find an outlet, he'd look elsewhere, and I couldn't let that happen to Emily. One Sunday, while Jake was at the sauna, I cleaned his room, gathering his laundry. Among his shirts and boxers, I found a pair of my panties, ones I'd worn the day before. They were crumpled, slightly damp, and carried a musky, unmistakable scent. Not just mine, his. The realization hit me like a shockwave. My knees buckled, my lower belly igniting with heat, my own panties growing wet as I held the fabric. Jake had used them, wanted me. The scent of him, raw, masculine, intoxicating, flooded my senses, and I felt a rush so intense I had to steady myself against the wall. I knew then that our desires were aligned. I couldn't ignore it anymore. That night, I poured a glass of wine for courage and knocked on Jake's door. My heart pounded as I stepped inside, holding the panties. "We need to talk," I said, my voice shaky. His eyes widened when he saw what I held. I didn't sugarcoat it. "I found these. I know what you did." He looked away, his jaw tight. "Lisa, I'm sorry. I've wanted you since we met, but I couldn't. Emily, the family," his voice cracked, and I saw the struggle in his eyes. My heart raced. He wanted me. Me. I sat beside him, my hands trembling. Jake, Emily's gone for 6 months. If we don't do something, you'll stray, and she'll lose you. I can't let that happen. I took a deep breath. Until she's back, I'll be what you need. No strings, no love, just family, keeping it together. He stared at me, torn. Then, slowly, he nodded. We set rules, this was temporary, for Emily's sake. No emotions, just a solution. But as I looked into his eyes, I knew it wouldn't be that simple. That night, everything changed. Jake's room was dim, the air heavy with anticipation. He reached for me, his hands rough from work, brushing the hem of my blouse. My breath hitched as his fingers slipped underneath, grazing my skin, sending a shiver through me. The heat in my lower belly flared, my panties already damp with anticipation. He tugged the blouse up, exposing my midriff, his touch firm yet gentle, like he was savoring every inch. His hands moved to my jeans, unbuttoning them with a slow, deliberate pull. The denim slid down, taking my panties with it, leaving me bare against the cool air. I felt exposed, vulnerable, but the warmth spreading through me was undeniable. My panties, tangled up my ankles, were soaked, carrying the scent of my own desire mingled with the promise of his. I leaned back on the bed, my heart pounding, as he stepped closer. His touch was electric, his hands gripping my hips, pulling me toward him. I felt a firm pressure, a slow, deliberate warmth that made my body tremble. My lower belly burned, a slickness coating my skin as I arched toward him, drawn to the intensity of his presence. His scent, earthy, masculine, overwhelming, filled my lungs, and I clung to him, my nails digging into his shoulders. The rhythm of his movements was steady, consuming, each moment building a fire I couldn't control. My panties, discarded on the floor, bore the evidence of our connection, their damp fabric heavy with his scent. We didn't sleep that night. Between moments of passion, we'd stumble to the kitchen for water or snacks, laughing like conspirators. It was raw, primal, and nothing like my life with Michael. Jake's touch awakened something in me, a hunger I'd buried for years. My body responded in ways I didn't know it could, my lower belly hot, my panties perpetually wet, the scent of him lingering on my skin. I felt alive, but the guilt was a constant shadow. For 127 days, we lived like this, a secret second honeymoon. By day, we were family, cooking, cleaning, joking. By night, we were something else, tangled in sheets, lost in a haze of desire. My panties became a silent testament to our nights, each pair carrying his scent, a reminder of our pact. I told myself it was for Emily, to keep Jake from straying, but I craved him. The line between duty and desire blurred, and I didn't care. Emily came home, glowing from her training program. I braced for suspicion, but she noticed nothing. Jake and I had perfected our act, friendly, familial, nothing more. We slipped back into our roles, but the nights we'd shared haunted me. My panties, hidden in the laundry, still carried his scent, a secret I couldn't wash away. Life moved on. Emily got a promotion, but their marriage hit a rough patch. They wanted kids, but Emily couldn't conceive. Tension grew, and divorce loomed. I watched, helpless, as their love frayed. Then, an idea struck me, a way to save them. I offered to be their surrogate. It was unconventional, but it felt right. Jake and I created a child, our grandson, their son, born from love, not betrayal. Emily was overjoyed, and their marriage strengthened. They moved out, building a life with their boy. Our family is whole, but Jake and I haven't stopped. With Emily's blessing, on days when she's unavailable or during quick lunch breaks, Jake visits me. We steal moments, correcting mistakes from past encounters, as he puts it. My lower belly still burns for him, my panties still damp with his scent. It's not love, not cheating, it's family, redefined. Emily knows, and she's okay with it. We're unconventional, but we're together. I'm not sure if I'm confessing or celebrating. Maybe both. I know some of you will judge me, and I'm ready for that. But this is my truth, a story of sacrifice, desire, and a family that bends but never breaks. Thank you for listening, my loves. This was my hardest confession yet. Drop a comment, do you think I'm a villain or a hero? Have you ever crossed a line for family? Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more cheating stories that'll keep you hooked. I'll see you in the next one. Stay bold, and take care.